Great, thank you very much, Donna. And again, I just want to thank everyone for taking time out of your schedules, showing up in person. This is it's a wonderful, exciting opportunity for me. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm the one that bombarded you with all the emails. Really sorry about that. I'm Katherine Lithgow. I'm with the Center for Teaching Excellence. I'm the Senior Educational Developer, Integrative and Experiential Learning, and I do a lot of work with PebblePad. So probably that might be one way that you have known me. There's so many things that I would like to share with you about what PebblePad can do, but I can't do it in the time that we have. So today's showcase is just going to feature a little slice of what's been happening at the University of Waterloo. Now, this is not a how-to session. We're not going to be telling you how to do it. We have other sessions that can do that. But what I do want to do is maybe just leave you, inspired or curious or, just really eager to reach out to me or to your CTE liaison and ask, wow, I wonder how PebblePad might be able to help me with these learning goals. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to just show a few examples of the way PebblePad has been used, probably some of the more common ways. And then we have the presenters who are going to dive in a little bit deeper, telling you how they have used PebblePad and how it has impacted student learning. So with that, just a show of hands, how many people are familiar with PebblePad? Awesome. So with that, what I want to do is just say briefly what PebblePad is it's a digital platform that supports students throughout their learning journey. And what I mean by that is it starts as soon as they become students at the University of Waterloo. As soon as they have access to Learn, they can just click on PebblePad and they're taken to their own personal dashboard. They don't need permission. There's nothing that the instructor has to do to help them get started. They have access on their own. Thank you. And from there, they can start on their own, collecting assets, showing evidence of their learning, things like that. But the learning journey does not end when they graduate. They can actually get an alumni account, and they can take all the assets or any of the work that they have done in PebblePad while they were here with us, and they can continue to use PebblePad to support their professional growth and development, and they can use the features that are in PebblePad. So what I wanted to do is just talk about some of the features and functionality that are in PebblePad. And as Donna said, it doesn't happen magically. It happens with good course design or program design. But I want to just talk about some of the ways that PebblePad can help integrate their learning. So one way that PebblePad is used quite broadly is to support reflection. And so really the feature that gets used the most there is the use of templates. And what I mean by that is instructors can either use pre-prepared templates, which is provided by PebblePad or that we have provided, or they can make their own. But basically what we want to do is help students just start thinking and making sense of what learning is. And so we guide them through various reflection models. One of the common ones is the what, so what, now what. It gives them an opportunity for them to really think about what happened when I participated in this experience, what does that mean to my learning and my growth and development, and now what? And what they can do then is they're just sort of directed through where they can start filling in, start thinking and making sense of that learning. So we have prompts here. What happened? How did you feel? How did you react? They can get to the so what stage. What did you learn? How does this relate to your other learning? But because reflection is a learned skill, often this is where students stop. They start describing it. They might talk about what happened. But by scaffolding this process, we can now take them down to the now what area. So why is that experience helpful, and what does it help me do in the future? So really starting them thinking about, I learned this, how is it going to help me in the future? Not only is it to help students get through a reflective process, we also, instructors are able to use PebblePad to create content. And so what I want to do is just show a workbook that was created for Kin 418 by Laura Middleton. And what this course was an online course, and I think it has been repurposed to go with the blended one. But in here, she decided to put her course content all into PebblePad. And she was able to sort of parse out the work into various weeks. She doesn't have to show all of the weeks at once. She can work on it, as she has time. She can release it, set release dates on it. But the nice thing about it is she's able to introduce herself to the students. So there's a little video here where she's talking about, here's what the course is, here are my expectations, here's what I hope you can get out of it. And then she was able to create little checklists to help students navigate the workbook. What are they supposed to be doing in each week? And then various things that she's done throughout is she wanted the students to start thinking about topics that would be coming up. So what she did was, in the workbook, she showed students some of the articles that she would like them to review ahead of time. And then she asked them to just think about, what were the big takeaways? Do these sort of align with what you had initially thought? So she's almost doing things like read some content, take some time to think about it, then carry on with the content. So really scaffolding them through the learning process. And again, it's not just written content. You can embed videos maybe that you want to show them. The other thing that she had them do was, at the end of the week, she gave them the opportunity to just sit back and think about, what did I learn? Down here, oh, I'm in the wrong place here, sorry. What did I learn during this week? What were the big takeaways? What surprised me? And students can collect their notes in there. As an instructor, she could pull a report and she could find a snapshot of all the responses to this particular question. And then if she wanted, she could either comment on it during an upcoming class, or she could even go in and maybe make a response to a particular student, maybe directing them to different resources. The nice thing about this is a resource that now resides in PebblePad. Now, if all of this material had been put in Learn, when the course ends, the students no longer have access to that. But the nice thing about PebblePad is students can keep that, and if they were going on a practicum, maybe they were dealing with this kind of senior population, they've got a nice package to refer back to access resources. If they graduate and set up an alumni account and it's one of their early jobs in this field, they still have this resource. Which leads me to another way that because of that feature of having the students be able to keep their assets and refer to it, not only can PebblePad help at a course level, but it can also help students look at their program holistically. So they're no longer just looking at, here's a course that I'm taking and here's what I learned in the course. The Masters of Public Health group decided to create a workbook where they would, at the very beginning, introduce their students to all the competencies that a public health graduate would have to have. And what they asked them to do is go through the competencies and then start rating themselves. So on this competency, how comfortable do I feel coming in? The nice thing about that is, because they have to go through it, how many of our students actually take time to look at our learning objectives and go, oh, this is not making sense to me. So really, we're starting to say, I'm in this program to learn these competencies. What are the courses that are available that are going to help me do that? And to help them further with that, you can see that they have a baseline, a midpoint, and a final summary that the students have to complete. The nice thing about this is this workbook carries with them from one year to the next. So it's not just embedded in a course, it's actually making them look at their program at this program level. And some of the questions that they ask the students to look at is, what is your most developed competency coming into this? Where did you start to create that competency coming in? Where in the program might you find opportunities to enhance that? And when we look at their least developed areas, it starts getting them to think about, here are some competencies that I'm not really comfortable with. What courses should I be taking? What experiences should I be seeking out so that I can become competent in this area? So they're not coming in as passive recipients of the education. They're actually able to start saying, I want this competency and I'm going to have to maybe focus on it on my practicum. And again, they can come back using their the capabilities feature, and as they gain competency, they can start adding some of the evidence that shows that they have progressed that way, and they can also look back on their history. So maybe when the student first came in, they might have said, oh, this looks pretty easy, I think I'm going to give myself a 4. Then as they start taking the courses, they go, wow, there's a lot more to this than I actually thought. I'm actually down here at a 2. And then by the time they end, they can rate themselves and say, oh, now I'm at a 5, and here's the evidence that I have to back it up. So that's a really nice way to, again, start students thinking, more broadly. Instead of these are the courses I have to take, it's actually I'm in this program to start learning some of these things. So that's just a quick snapshot of the different ways. There's also certificates that have been used, so it's not just for students. We have staff. The OHD has created some of their modules and offered it to staff. I've completed the sustainability certificate. They're using PebblePad as well. So again, it's not just for student development. It could also be for your own personal development when you're looking at your own career trajectory.